Okay, well, you can see it's still dark out. It's after 8, but it's just dark all the time here. Here in the ice cave, in the red zone zombie apocalypse. I had seen this morning, and I decided, oh, maybe there's something going on. Oh, maybe I'll check the top news. I'll go in the top news section and just go across to look. A lot of this, because you need 4 at least. You're gonna need them every couple of weeks, and until you're dead, basically. But the the other big thing is the other day was the asteroid and the glacier that was about to go out and kill us, and now they're just talking about fires in glacier or not glaciers right here. Fires in Colorado. And they're having to evacuate Boulder and stuff. So, like, what? How are they having wildfires in the middle of winter? Please, somebody explain. And that's a natural occurrence. I lived in Colorado. Winters are like this. How do frozen trees burn? I don't know. And this, we probably just need to go and check in with the people who do know. Such as, so yesterday, I'm told that, if you want to be on social media, you should really watch your tongue. You should really not say things. Otherwise, just take responsibility. If you get kicked off, that's your own fault. What? I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, well, what's the deal with the First Amendment? Yeah, well, we're not talking about that. They love to make these arguments, but then they've got nothing. They got nothing. It's like, what? Okay, yes, we'll all accept tyranny. Well, you shouldn't speak out unless you're part of the pack. Keep it shut. Shut it down. Unless you're part of the pack, because the pack are the only ones that get to talk around this place. Hold on. Trixie, it's empty. She beelines it right back over to the empty bowl. I'm like, maybe there's more. I'm like, go back in and dig in that empty bowl some more. And it's 2 days on the honey here. It doesn't feel dirty at all. It feels good, like it feels clean and stuff. Knock it off. Oh, and then Trixie goes into the trash and starts growling at Stella like, it's my trash. She's a trash digger, man. I can't even tell you how many times I come out and just trash everywhere. It's like, what the fuck? Damn, hold on. Oh, she's blocking the water. This kind of stuff goes on all day long. These dog battles. Okay, so anyways, yeah. If you're not going to go along with the program, then you need to not talk. And if you do, and you get, shut down, then what do you expect? Well, I kind of expect that we have the First Amendment, right? Oh, weird. I don't know. I expected freedom of speech. Crazy. And another thing too about that, freedom of speech. Oh, wait, there's another thing to it. I can't remember. It'll come to me. But yeah, I blew my mind. But you see, that's what I'm talking about. Is like they just have a completely different view of things. Like you can get kicked off TikTok, get kicked off Twitter, get kicked off Nextdoor. You should just watch your mouth. If it doesn't say it on Facebook, it doesn't exist. Fucking kidding me. Oh my god. Yeah. If it doesn't say it on Facebook, it doesn't exist. It's not happening. If Facebook doesn't acknowledge it, then it couldn't be censorship. Wow, that's too crazy. Okay, I don't want to be cleaned now. Thank you. Dirty water mouth. I've got a flood in my jowls. Here, come here. I'm gonna kiss you with it. I'm all wet. But yeah, I was just like, what the fuck? That is. But I love it when they say their stuff because they need to hear it out loud and see like. Because I was like, really, we have a very different perspective because I'm all about the First Amendment. So yeah, you just take your, I'm gonna follow tyranny and keep my mouth shut. Go. I said, okay, well, you go to that earth and I'm going to the other one because that's not going with us. Tyranny will no longer exist. If you're into it, then yeah, hold back, stay and work it out. You go through that experience so you can really get it in your heart and soul to know where you stand on this, right? So, and another thing too, you know how I've been saying since the beginning is I've been saying this for years to my kids and stuff. So yesterday I did get a chance to say this to one of my daughters, one that is always like, nothing's happening. They all of a sudden say it on Facebook. God, I just can't. This is the point I'm at now. There's no arguing. It's too fucking funny. It's too fucking funny. I mean, the humor. Yesterday, my friend in Australia, she messages me and she's cracking up because she said, yeah, my friend who just got her, I think her third or fourth, has got COVID now. Like, when's it gonna click? The shot isn't for that. There's nothing for that. You taking care of yourself, as always, as we have since the beginning of time. Or, you can go in and get injected with poison, whatever. So the other thing, I'm always talking about is the come to Jesus moment. I'm going to have that come to Jesus moment. And so I've said all along, this whole thing is going to be going down over the next few. I started saying this like 5 years ago, I think, or whatever. It was after my dark night. I was just talking about that the other day, comparing it to Stella's age, because Lucy died during my dark night, so I didn't have Stella yet, and she just turned 5, right? Pretty sure she just turned 5. I have no concept of numbers, but I'm pretty sure it was 5 because I was like, dang, she's already 5. She's getting all that white in her face. So it's before that, so I started talking about those come to Jesus moments because I had already had mine. And there's so many people who I'm around, as a progressive liberal, it's all about the science. There's no God. Well, I didn't fit into that group. I mean, I was like, I don't want anybody tell me rules. At the time, it felt like it was one group that was really hard on the rules. Now I see it's the other group. It's like they're all bullshit. They're all just fucking bullshit. But it was like the what was I gonna say? Okay, let's go back to that. So I was like 5 years ago or something, and I started being like, all these people are going to start having these come to Jesus moments. And they're like, what that? What are you, a religious freak? What are And I was like, no, it's just like when you're out there, like I've said this story, like you put an atheist out there in a shipwreck and put him out there in a lifeboat, leave him out in the open water for a couple days and see the hell if they don't start praying. Bullshit if they don't start praying. That's a come to Jesus moment. So everybody, said all along, this whole experience that we're going through, this transition, this moving into a new age, leaving an old age, going into a new age, that there would be a lot of come to Jesus moments because it's a transference, it's a transcendence, it's a complete changeover of your soul. That's why I keep saying, get to work on you. Because it's a completely reformatting yourself. It's breaking free from this programming system into a system of independence. And, you have to believe in yourself. You don't, if you need someone to tell you who you are, then you're not quite ready. But, anyway, so we're moving into that. I talk about it all the time. So when they come to Jesus moment, so I'm out here in the red zone, right? And I've told you, we're just going from one tragedy after another. It's no coincidence, because I was thinking I had seen that California was on the top news thing. California, it was yesterday, the day before when I looked, and they were completely like this, just, ice shut down. I don't know what parts or anything. I didn't go in and watch. I just look at the headlines. And then, so I saw, okay, so Colorado's having problems. I know Oregon's, because I know that because when this all, back when this was, not when this started, but when this started, because once Trump was in office, it was in full swing. They were going against these people, and they had, beat HRC at our own game. So it was already on at that point. And once that was going, and what was I going to say about it? Oh, there's something about, it'll come through me. But anyway, so I'll just go back to the come to Jesus moments. I don't remember. It'll come back to me what I was going to say. Why? Because this all started all that ways back when, when he got in, everything started going down. It's just we didn't all know it. Oh, it was something of my perspective back then. And my perspective in the beginning was much about the state. So my perspective was very different back then, right? I was believing the news when they were saying, oh, he's doing this, and he's saying this, and he's doing that, and he's saying this, and he's a crazy racist. Stella! Hey! I am talking. Knock it off. This is her anxiety at this point. I don't even know what is pushing her buttons so much. The other day I was watching a movie and somebody came on the screen and she just jumps up and starts barking at him. And she quit barking at him. I said, what the hell? So weird. Okay, so anyways, back when it very first started, here where I am, it was Oregon, California, and Washington were going to split off. They were aggressively going after this. We're splitting off from the union. We're going to become our own. We'll side with Canada or wherever we got to go. And they started coming up with names, Cascadia, all this kind of stuff. But, that was their big plan, was we're going to just get away from Trump, and we became these, what are those things called again? I want to say solar cities, but it wasn't that. Safety city or something where, if you were in trouble, you could go here and, it was all this stuff with ice and stuff. It was during this period of time when they had ice going on buses and supposedly taking immigrants out of our country and taking away from their parents and all that. Like, who knows what the hell was really going on, because that was all bullshit lies, because we were seeing what the hell was going on. What's so crazy too is that because the news was always talking about him, these people, they were always like, just like, he's the worst. And now, and he wasn't doing this stuff, right? The news was just saying it, but now we got somebody doing it, but the news isn't talking about it, so they're just like, oh yeah, everything's great. If the news don't say it, if it's not on Facebook, it ain't real, right? So, mental. But anyways, so, back then we were in this, we were going to split off. So that's when I first started noticing that we were different, but I didn't know really to the degree, because I was still in the upside down. I still thought we were on the right side. So when they were doing that, I was all for it. Fuck yeah. I was like, hell yeah, let's get away. I mean, I was never all for, like, all these states all going together like this. It was too, like, it didn't make any sense. Like, it just didn't make any sense. Like, there's a lot of stuff in the government and politics and stuff that makes no sense whatsoever. And so anyways, I thought, yeah, this seems like a good idea. And you know, it didn't happen. But then as 2020 started happening, then I started seeing like, oh God, Newsom, Wheeler, Inslee, like what the fuck? And Colorado is the same. You know, in one way too, you can tell of which states are the more progressive, whatever they want to call them, the blue states and the slave states at this point, is weed's legal. Because, you know, government makes a lot of money off of it. So the progressive liberal states, we're under the most attack right now. So because, you know, we're the ones that are most sold out by our government officials. So, you know, the evil beings can come in and do whatever the hell they want to because, you know, these other motherfuckers, they get money in their pockets, extra time linked on at the end. Like, I don't even know what's worth it to these people. It's so bizarre to me. But, so I was not surprised at all to see that Colorado was on fire. Like, but I said too, if I could bring in these snowballs and start them on fire, probably I don't even need wood. Just go out and make snowballs. And so maybe that's how it's working. That they're just, whatever this toxins, plastics, or whatever this shit is that's in this snow. Yesterday when I said, this does not seem natural. Like I go out in it and I go and get on my boots and I come in, it doesn't fall off. It just stays on. Like, I kept being like, what the hell? Like you go out and stomp, you know, and usually it comes off. No, just, it's adhered. So yeah, real natural. So anyway, so with all of the, you know, us slave states are under attack. And it has to be documented, you know. And Frank's right. We do. We have to have record of this. This is outrageous. This is insane. It's insane what's going on in the world. And it's so, you know, like I've talked about, it's all these different pockets. We're all like different lab tests. Like if you go into a lab, it's designated for different tests. Like you have this one going here, this one going here, this one going here. You know, we're all in different, we're all experiments in different areas. So, yeah, in this one, but back to that come to Jesus moment. So here, you know, we've gone back to back, one after another, and now we're in the Ice Age. You know, won't be surprised if fucking T-Rex comes storming through. But you know, and they'd be like, "What? How did this happen? Where did that come from?" I don't know. Let's ask the fucktard. I'm sure he's in there. Don't tell him what the fuck that guy's doing. Bringing back diseases. He's probably been working on the plague for, you know, he probably created Ebola. So, anyways, so you gotta just laugh at this point. It's so fucking ridiculous. But the good news is, so here in the red zone, you know, those come to Jesus moments. So I'm gonna give you a little update here on the. Remember, I've talked about that situation a lot because that's when I really started seeing, like, people don't see you anymore. Once you have been tagged a T-Ram supporter, then you are automatically, oh, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're a misogynist. Like what? So anyways, you know, I've talked about that earlier, you know, I don't know, 600 videos ago. And so on the update on there, so during this time, like they moved in a year or so after I did, and I've been here like in March it will be 3 years because I moved here in March, at the end of March. So this will be my 3rd year at March, and so this would be, I think, like 1.5 years for them. This is their first. They might have had some of last winter. Yeah, they must have had some of last winter. They must have moved in the summer, and then, oh yeah, because I shared all my wood. Yeah, because they didn't have anything. They didn't have anything. Like, they moved into bare bones, man. So I was sharing my wood so that they had fire, because they had no heat. So they were here last winter, but this winter, so, yeah, like a year and a half. In that year and a half, they've had to have 3 pickups. Each pickup that they've gotten has the motor's been blown. So they moved over here. They left from Kansas, came here. The truck they used to get here, the motor blew, so they had to. I know it's not the wood guy. Those guys are just like the flakiest. So Then they went and got a new truck. That one, the motor was bad, so that one didn't last long. They had to go trade it in. They got a new one. And so they brought that one back. It has been in the shop so freaking much. Oh my God, just nonstop in the shop. And, you know, when they moved into the house, it was real bare bones. They had a lot of work to do. And, you know, that's a lot of money, especially when they're fucking with the economy and, you know, inflation and stuff like that. Like, when you're working on some of this stuff and all of a sudden the price of wood triples, like, what are you going to do? So then, after that, when they got the third one, right, then it was going in the shop all the time, constantly in the shop. Then they finally, I thought that they had a lot of stuff fixed and it was back in the shop again. And they couldn't get it out because it was the motor had to be replaced. And it was like $10,000 or something like that. So they were like, what are we going to do? Oh my gosh, it's just, it is an absolute no awareness. It is absolutely no awareness. It is so bizarre because it is like, I'm going to sit here and tell you about what someone's doing to me as I'm doing it to you, but I'm not going to put the two together. It's like, what the hell? This whole thing, watching consciousness come to awareness, it's mind-blowing. It's bizarre. It's so mind-blowing. But, okay, so they're on the third truck, right? And it's back in the shop. This just happened, and it was back in the shop, and then they got told because the guy who did their house didn't even put normal siding on. He just set the wood. I'm telling you, it was bare bones. Because I'm out here where, I mean, people are moving in and trying to make this a community, but it was literally just a vacation spot for Canadians. It was very unlived in. So this, so they have, they had to put on siding. So they're like, okay, well, we're gonna do the equity loan in the house, and then we'll get the car fixed, we'll get the siding on, and you know, so they did it last week. They got their siding on their house and their truck, and then we hit the snowstorm, and first nobody was going anywhere, but yesterday I said, you know, the neighbor was going by, so that was a mistake. So we went down and ended up having to help somebody because I guess they were in a ditch or something. And so when he pulled them out, he broke his four-wheel drive. So then he got stuck out of here. He was stuck out of here. I was watching them all out here. And not only that, they're packing the freaking up. Oh my gosh. They're packing the damn ice. So we have a damn, I mean, we're going to need one of those Zambotis or whatever they're called. Just ice. This is mental. Like, we got like this much ice packed now. Because these four-wheel drive trucks, we're going to just go out there and just go through it. Like the one yesterday, the SUV is just going back and forth. He's like, what are you doing? Trying to pack it down? Like, go out with your goddamn shovel. Start shoveling the streets. You know, these dogs, I swear to God, they're going to drive me crazy. Stop! Oh my God, hold on again. Oh. I'm not letting him back in now until I finish. Like, sit out there and whine and cry. Oh my God. See, this is what my day is like every day. It's not just because of this. This is nonstop. This has been going like ever since the energy started becoming so intense and she started getting sick and oh my God. Anyway, so he goes out, breaks his four-wheel drive. So then as soon as he got in, like they're out there working and trying to get it in there, and it was like, oh my God, it was the biggest ordeal. It was going on, and black smoke's pouring out, and his tires spinning. Oh my God, I was like, Jesus Christ, you can fucking blow your new motor you just put in. And I text over there, put a box under your tires so you get traction. And so when he went back in, I mean, they never did that. It was just 5 guys with their muscles. We're gonna do this. They didn't do the box under the wheel, which if you go and you are losing traction, like if you have to go somewhere and you don't have four-wheel drive or whatever, and you're in the winter, more weight in your trunk is always good, but also carry some boxes, some empty flat boxes, because you put them right, you shove it where your tire is, and shove it in there, and then it hits traction and will get you out of that wet muck that is holding you in. So it does work, but anyways, they didn't do that. So once they got in and they got in their house, I'm not even shitting you, it was like less than 5 minutes, their pipe busted in their house. Or maybe they were so busy noticing that they didn't notice it, and the pipe busted. Their whole fucking house flooded. They just paid all this money for both those things. Whole fucking house flooded. And she's like, well, we're gonna have to turn it into insurance. He's tearing the walls out now because it destroyed the wall. The floor's fucked. There's water everywhere. So they're ripping it up, and she's like, I'm going to have to turn it into insurance. It's such a huge mess now. It's a huge job. Well, I already had that happen first year I moved in, where the pipe busted and insurance came out, and they're like, don't know what to tell you. You're on your own here, sister. So, maybe they'll have better luck, but, I don't trust any corporate industrial bullshit. They're not here for us. They're here to take our money, but they're not here to help us. So we'll see how it turns out for them, but she was like, I just want this year to be over. And they're super, super progressive. She's from another country, and she knew more about politics than I did. Okay. Just some of the conversations that go through my head, it just blows my mind. People's perspectives is so limited, but they limit themselves. It's for just those reasons. Oh, no, fuck off. Just for those same reasons of, I need people to like me. Don't talk about things that are going to upset people. If you keep your weird opinions to yourself. So, I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was wide awake, still laughing about that one. I was like, what the fuck? Have you even listened to the words that have come out of your mouth yet? Are you just saying them to argue? Or have you actually thought about that? Where would we be if we only get to have one perspective? That's the only one we get to talk about. Yeah, that's acceptable. In what kind of society? Tyrannical? That's not for me. How do we move out of it? We make the choices. We move towards that. Do we hold on to it? Do we say, hey, you guys follow the rules? Follow the rules. The rules are here for you. Or do we start making our own rules? This is the split apart, and so, yeah, I'm telling you, out here in these disaster areas, these progressive liberals that everybody thinks are the monsters of the world are going through some crises. They are having their come to Jesus moments. So we are headed for unity. I know it's coming. It's written. It's written. So it is, it's coming. We're moving into the age of Aquarius. We're transitioning out of this Piscean age, I think it was, or I don't even remember which age now, which one we're leaving. I thought it was, definitely wasn't Libra. It wasn't anything about justice. I think it was Pisces. It was learning the balance between good and evil. I don't know anymore. Leaving this age, yeah. This age is not, it was productive in, like what I said yesterday, for souls to learn and expand and stuff. But, once we finish it, it's like, I'm real done with this one. I've learned all I need to from this. Now this is hell. So, yeah, but there's obviously still people who are wrapping it up. Still trying to come to terms with some shit. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that because I think a lot of people think, like, nothing's happening. But I'm telling you, here in the red zone, people are in crises. And they are having their come to Jesus moments. They're having to be pulled into the present moment. They're having to pull out of survival into the present moment to survive. Funny there. But they are having to, and it is a slow process, like I said. I mean, this has been going on for a long time. When you really start looking at when stuff started being shown to us, look at how demanding. Like, they're just, we want in, we want it, we want in, we want out. And then they know I'm talking here. They know. They aren't stupid. Anyways, I probably should have let them in. But I did want to share that because I do think that it is easy to think like nothing's happening and oh my God, people aren't waking up. But like I said, I mean, people are waking up, I mean, with a health crisis and really going into their self. But there's a lot of other stuff they're still not seeing. So it's pointless to go and argue with them. I mean, they'll tell you why, you should just shut it down. And if it's not on Facebook, then it's not true. So, there's no point of arguing. There's no point of trying to enlighten them or give them some little tidbits. We're not at that point anymore. Now I'm at the point of just laughing. Like, are you fucking kidding? I just burst out laughing this morning when I saw the thing in Israel that they're okay for their fourth. I'm like, who the hell would line up for that? But my friend in Australia said the lines for, I think, the third, because of the Omni, are 8 hours long in Australia. People are waiting they're sitting in their cars overnight to get in the line and waiting 8 hours. Oh no, that's for the test. That's for the testing. Yeah, to get tested. You need someone to tell you if you're sick? What the? If you need someone to tell you that you're sick, you don't. I don't even know. Like how these people's brains are working. I don't understand it. It's bizarre, and all we can do is just sit back and patiently wait. But there is progress being made. I'm telling you, people are in major crises here. Major crises. I mean. Yeah, there's no end in sight. Like, that was their only transportation. And now, he was part of out there shoveling or getting the pack down. Now he's going to find out. Yeah, can't drive on ice pack with, oh my God, I just can't even. It really makes me wonder, like, because you're always where you're supposed to be, but it's like, what? Is it just so I can, while everybody else is crying, I can just sit here and laugh? Is that the energy that I'm bringing to this place? Because I had seen, Juan talking a while back, and he said that we're going to be going into some really hard times, and people who know what's going on, it's not going to be as hard on them. They're going to know what's going on, but the other people who don't are going to be in crises. And when he's saying it, it's like, because it's scary. I mean, I haven't had any weird sounds under the house. But we still have the airplanes going over us all the time, monitoring us. Which, just to ask the people who who've been here for a year, they're monitoring the border. Really? Okay, that makes sense to you. They just started this military planes monitoring the border. Yeah, nothing to worry about that. So anyways, just rest assured that people are waking up, but it is going to be a slow process, and but there is going to be, I still say, something big is coming. Something big this way comes, and it's going to make people have to see the truth and all. And everything. Oh, and I saw Maxwell got guilty, but they have kept so much of that quiet. I think, I don't know, since I'm not on anything, but it seems like a lot of it was kept quiet. I don't know, but there's so many other defendants. Like, are we going to start all these trials? What about Beyonce, Jay-Z? What about all these people who were over there? What all did they do? How many kids did they ruffle feathers on? It's like, I'm so blown away. When I was looking at the news thing, of course, who's out there is a front line, The Rock. It's like, dude, God, you make me almost want to fucking puke. I mean, it was enough with your overdone muscles, but now to know what a sellout you are, you put your big old fucking smug face all over the place and telling people, and you're selling people out like this, like, oh God. Some of these people are so disgusting, so absolutely disgusting. Like, what was selling out humanity worth to you, really? And how do you just do it day by day? Put your big phony ass smile on there. Go home and eat your expensive ice cream. You get it's bizarre. So bizarre. But anyways, I'll just end that there. The dog's like, fuck it. She's not listening. Yeah, sometimes I gotta tell them, like, no, I'm not listening to you, because they're demanding as shit. Especially when they get all anxious like this and every little thing. Just sit here in the window, just staring out the window. There's nothing going on, I'm telling you. No, nothing. Snow falling from the trees. You can't go down the road. I've seen sleds and stuff like that. Like, the road is for sleds at this point. And four-wheel drive cars that want to smash the ice pack down so that we are having ice until March. Fucking. Okay, that's enough of my rambling bitchin' ass. I'll just bitch my head off. So maybe that's what Anne Frank was doing. Maybe she was bitching. I don't know. I haven't read that in a long, long time. I don't really remember. So, okay, well, we can see it's 8:45 and it's still dark. So have a great day. I'll be here in the cave. Oh, no, really, I am going to go. We're going to supposedly trudge out there to the highway and get the bus, and then take the bus down to the market. It's going to be like a 5-hour extravaganza, maybe 6 hours, 45 minutes or 50 minutes to get to the store. Then it's a 2-hour delay till the next bus, and then it's 45 minutes to get home. Okay, I gotta go. I'm really getting upset. Okay, have a great day, and I'll talk to you probably later today. I don't have that much going on. I'll be talking to you. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.